I'm so tired of people acting like politics is this complicated workhorse BS like minefield that they have to traverse in a super ultra specific way, otherwise they're never going to get any exposure from anything ever. And like they can't have genuine opinions and they can't express how they actually feel about something out of fear of like getting ostracized from whatever group they're in, or whatever girl not liking them, or just not being able to be friends with certain people, or even their family members like not being cool with them over their political opinions. Because it's like, dude, we we aren't living in a third world country. And I'm specifically talking about US politics here, but like we aren't living in a third world country. Why is everybody terrified of sharing their opinion? And like, I get it because I was the same way in middle school, but it's like, how do you look at the world today and think, oh yeah, no, what I need to do is be quiet about my actual opinion? When in reality, most people's opinions aren't radical. And like I said, we don't need more radicals. We just need more people willing to share a moderate, normal opinion when they're asked about it. You don't have to think that we need a second Twin Towers situation just so that people should listen to you. Like, there's so many liberals and Republicans saying, oh, yeah, I hope, Trump gets, whatever. Or I hope that Mom Donnie gets whatever. And it's like, dude, you're preying on the downfall of another human being. I understand that you don't like these people, but that's not a reason to wish harm to them. That makes no sense to me. And specifically, I'm talking about the Charlie Kirk issue right now because, like, and I know that's obviously what this is kind of leaning towards, but like, dude, do you know how brain dead you have to be to celebrate the death of a human being, especially one that was as non problematic as Charlie Kirk? And I understand that, like, when you think of Charlie Kirk, non problematic is probably not a word you would associate with him, but at the same time, it's like he wasn't at all. There was literally nothing problematic that he said. He might have phrased things problematically, but like he never said anything inherently problematic. Everything he was saying was perfectly moderate, if not like maybe a little bit Republican or like conservative leaning, but like he literally banned multiple racist people and like people who made hateful remarks from his like speeches and things like that. And it I don't even I'm not conservative. This is the thing that makes me so mad about it, is like I'm not even conservative. I'm not liberal either, but I'm not conservative. And even I can recognize he didn't say anything crazy. It's just people yapping on the internet about some shit they don't even know about. And it's like baffling to me how this quantity of people can be this like beside their own ass about this. I genuinely will never understand how so many people sound so stupid on the internet. There's a bunch of Republicans and conservatives talking about how Charlie Kirk hated trans people and Charlie Kirk hated this group of people in a good way, and that's just not true. Um like he didn't at all. That didn't happen whatsoever. So I don't know why people claim that. And then there's obviously liberals and Democrats claiming the exact same thing on the other side who have never even heard him. And, like, yes, the man had his opinions on the LGBTQ community. Yes, that's not exactly a secret. But at the same time, he had completely different opinions on other stuff that you would never even expect because you didn't watch any of the full videos. You watched clips taken out of context, obviously. I mean, a lot of these clips that people are taking out of context and saying, like, oh, he's racist or whatever, they're clearly in the middle of a sentence. I don't know how much dumber you can get than thinking a clip cut out of the middle of a sentence is somehow valid in thinking, oh, yeah, that must be the case. That must be the full context of this clip because AI told me so. And these are the same people saying AI needs to get out of art and creation and whatever. And it's like, my brother in Christ, who's going to tell you, you know, because I'm trying right now, but if something like this can't get through to you, you might genuinely be a lost cause. I would rather you work, like, at a grocery store than in any significant job on planet Earth. Because people who can't use critical thinking skills, which is a basic part of elementary school education, should genuinely just be the bottom of the workforce. Because there's no use for these people. These people are just, like, idiots. I don't even know what to, like, say about it. And I understand I was saying we don't need more radicals, whatever, and my views on this can sound kind of radical, but you also have to understand I'm not actually being serious about 90% of the shit I'm saying right now. It's just an exaggerated opinion of what I actually think. And seriously, I just had to yap about why I think this, because it just, I see it so much. And I can't get over how annoying this shit is. Genuinely annoying. And talking about politics on YouTube and, like, you know, doing that whole spiel, I understand is pretty, like, not a good idea lately. You know, you get a lot of hate for it, you get a lot of backlash, but I don't think anything I'm saying is that crazy. Anything I'm saying, I feel like is a pretty general consensus that I'm at least somewhat right about. Because, I mean, holy shit, dude. How dumb do you have to be to believe some of this shit? On both sides of it. There's Republicans talking about, like, religious stuff that I vehemently disagree with, because religion has no place within politics. I mean, you should definitely not be using it to go on the internet or even go on, like, a actual stream from the White House or something, or like a rally or whatever, and using it to garner votes or garner fans or whatever. Like, using religion to do that is beyond me. Yeah, there's a separation of church and state for a reason, and I don't understand why that's such a big part of one party's demographic and why they make it such a big deal. But whatever. Same thing on the other side. I don't understand why you have to play the race card so much just to garner votes, especially when you're the party that put that demographic in the position they're in, and now you're trying to claim you're fixing it when you're not actually fixing anything. You're actually making it worse. But yeah, I just wanted to present both sides of this argument because I see so many people saying, oh, right or left, oh, right or left. But in reality, it's just like, they're both horrid options. We need to vote like Green Party or Libertarian or some shit because this is beyond me. I genuinely don't understand how people go through their entire life just never conceiving an idea of their own. And it is both sides. I want to make that as clear as possible. I know I've repeated that for like the third time, but it is absolutely both sides. It is not a one-sided thing. And I'm not really that sorry if I've offended you. I don't think I've offended anybody, but I'm truly not sorry if I've offended you because you probably deserve it if you're getting offended by this. I mean, this is pretty, like, hand-holding type of deal. I mean, I'm an average Joe, okay? I'm not, like, some lobbyist. I'm just a guy who has a job that likes watching YouTube. So I'm about as average as you can get, you know? And it's baffling to me that people don't see any of this because I've been saying all this since I was like 10 to my parents. And it just genuinely baffling stuff on the internet. The internet is so divisive. And I can't get over how dumb some people are who don't, like, understand that the internet is a place specifically designed to cause division and to throw you into your niche and just keep you there forever. That's what your algorithm does. So people saying like, oh, I crafted my algorithm. I mean, kind of. Like, you picked everything that you wanted to hear, and then you're just getting fed that stuff over and over, and that's what an algorithm is. On TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all of it. They all have the same algorithmic ideas about, oh yeah, you're a Republican? Okay, yeah, we're just going to feed you Trump rallies, Charlie Kirk, and, you know, that kind of stuff. Candace Owens, military, gun tube, that stuff. Or if you're Democrat, we're going to feed you gaming content, and we're going to feed you femcel, like, slop, essentially. We're going to feed you just this hyper aggressive, what's the word for it? Hyper aggressive, like, oh my god, why can't I remember the word for it? Like, women, essentially. We're just gonna feed you a bunch of liberal stuff. And so, yeah, it's pretty annoying. I hate whenever I see that kind of content, or, like, I don't even hate it, but it's like, it's just so annoying to see stuff like that, because I know that it's not something that I chose to see. I know it's something that YouTube is choosing me to see, or TikTok is choosing me to see, because it thinks that it'll radicalize me, and it just makes me angry every single time. And I don't, like, I don't even know how to fix that, because I don't want to be a radical. Like I just said, I just want to be whatever. I want to be okay with the country I live in. And if that means that I have to sacrifice certain ideals to get that, like, okay, let's say I thought, like, abortion should be illegal or whatever, right? I don't think that, but, like, let's say I did. okay, what else do I compromise on for that ideal? Because that's the one that I care the most about. Okay, well, I might have to compromise on gun laws, right? I might have to compromise on having, like, certain firearm laws that I disagree with. And that's okay. You can do that. It's okay to disagree with some of the laws in place as long as you're voting for the ones that you want. You don't have to be some crazy radical. These political parties have the ability to communicate, and they do regularly. The thing is, they just want division, because the more divisive something is, the more you're likely to be entertained by it. And the more you're likely to say, you know what? Yeah, I kind of do agree with that. Over time, they just radicalize you by making more and more absurd stuff that is slightly worse than the last one, but you're like, yeah, you know what? Sure, we're gonna take it to the next level, and the next level, and the next level. And it's just like, it keeps going, and it's a cycle, and you're caught in it. And it's hypnosis, essentially. And I know, like, liberals will say, oh, yeah, that's exactly what the right does. That's what the brainwashing is. You're not special, bro. The left does it, too. They do all of this stuff. That's why they keep trying to tell you the right is so terrible and, like, awful. And, like, they're just a bunch of hodunk hillbillies who don't know left from right and can't read. You know, that's not reality. In reality, many conservatives are rich, very well educated people who don't speak publicly about their opinions because they know that it'll put them in a bad position socially. It's not a complicated subject. And many liberals are very vocal people because it is a socially acceptable opinion. And I think since Charlie Kirk's death, being conservative has become a more socially acceptable thing because many people got radicalized, ironically. And so the more radical they are, the more people they have standing behind them being yes men. And it's not a good cycle. And I don't necessarily disagree with or agree with many of the things on either side of the argument. But I just think we need to pull our heads out of our ass as a country and kind of lock in, you know?